Hello dear viewers, welcome to Nacho Television News from Ankara in Turkey. I'll bring to you our news headlines in a bit. The Turkish Foreign Minister Mevlut Çavuşoğlu met with Rwandan Foreign Minister Richard Sezibera and held a joint press conference following their meeting yesterday in the capital of Ankara. Hundreds of Palestinians took part in a demonstration in the occupied West Bank city of Ramallah on Monday to protest a US-led conference in Bahrain this week. The protesters in the city of Ramallah chanted slogans against a US peace proposal and the Bahrain conference. Interview with Palestinian protester Khalid Mansour during the demonstration on Monday, US official will unveil the economic portion of its back channel Middle East peace plan known as a deal of the century during the June 25th to 26th conference. Election officials counted ballots at a polling station after voting ended for Turkey. It was a do-over local poll to elect a new mayor of Istanbul. Binali Yildirim, candidate of the ruling Justice and Development AK Party, and Ekrem İmamoğlu of the opposition Republican People's Party (CHP) vied to run the metropolitan municipality of Turkey's most populous city. After a previous vote on March 31st was annulled by the country's top election council last month. Turkish main opposition party leader on Sunday vowed to strengthen the countries with democracy. He stressed that, in his words, "We declare our commitment for democracy to the whole world," said Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu, head of the Republican People's Party (CHP), after unofficial results of a do-over mayoral election in Istanbul showed a convincing win for his party's candidate. Still on that news, opposition Republican People's Party (CHP) mayoral candidate Ekrem İmamoğlu held a press conference as unofficial results were announced in return mayoral race in Istanbul. And the official results of a do-over mayoral election in Istanbul will be announced soon, said head of Turkey's top election body. Around 65% of ballots, 19,910 ballot boxes, have been officially screened in our system, Saad Güven, head of the Supreme Election Council, told reporters in the capital of Ankara. 10 million voters casted their votes in 31,342 ballot boxes, including the ones in prison and portable ballot boxes, he said. He also said the council will issue the certificate of election to the deserving candidate following completion of the appeal process. According to unofficial results, with 99.37% of ballot boxes open, CHP's İmamoğlu got 54.03% of the votes, while AK Party's Yildirim received 45.04% as of 8 p.m. local time. People in Morocco's capital marched towards Parliament building, holding Palestinian flags to protest against US deal of the century plan with Israeli in capital Rabat. Turkey will start receiving its order of Russian S-400 air defense systems in July, according to the Turkish president. He announced that we will hopefully start receiving the S-400 air defense systems, which we ordered next month, Recep Tayyip Erdogan told his ruling Justice and Development AK Party's parliamentary group. Erdogan said the S-400 issue is directly related to Turkey's sovereignty rights. A train which departed from Tehran on Monday morning arrives in eastern Turkish city of Van today. A new passenger railway service rolled out between Turkey and Iran on Monday. The train stopped midnight and midway at Tabriz, the capital city of eastern Azerbaijan province in northwestern Iran. The train will operate once a week from Tehran to Van and vice versa. Railway passenger service between the two countries was halted in 2015. following attacks by PKK terrorist organization. It was also resorted on the Van Tbilisi line last year. Interviews with Mehrdad Nasseri, head of tourism department at Iran's Raja Railway Transportation Corporation, and Iranian passengers at Van railway station on Tuesday. Mushir al-Misr from Hamas officials held press conference yesterday. Misri slams US-led conference in Bahrain ahead of unveiling the economic portion of its back-chained the channeled Middle East peace plan known as the Deal of the Century during the June 25th to 26th conference. The Turkish government should not undertake a new resolution process on the Kurdish issue, said an opposition party leader said on Tuesday. Meral Akşener, head of the İYİ party, which is also the Good Party, said, "We call for a new term of inactivity in which tension is reduced and concrete solutions are discussed," she told her party's parliamentary group. The İYİ party does not want the government to establish any dialogue with Abdullah Öcalan, the jailed leader of the terrorist group PKK, and should not attempt to carry out any resolution process, she added in her speech. Mauritania's former defense minister Mohamed Ould Al Ghazvani had been elected president after country's presidential polls on Monday. Turkey is pleased with Rwanda's quick action to shut down a school affiliated with the FETÖ terror group. Turkish Foreign Minister Mevlut Çavuşoğlu said on Monday during a joint press conference with his Rwandan counterpart Richard Sezibera. Rwanda has made us and Turkish people so happy, especially on the issue of FETÖ, as it immediately shut down the FETÖ-affiliated school, Çavuşoğlu said. The FETÖ terrorism organization and its US-based leader Fethullah Gülen orchestrated the defeated coup in Turkey of July 15, 2016, which left 251 people martyred and nearly 2,200 injured. Still on the visit of Honorable Dr. Richard Sezibera, the Rwandan foreign minister in Turkey, he was received also by the Turkish Parliament Speaker Mustafa Şentop and his delegation at Turkish Grand National Assembly complex in the capital of Ankara yesterday. Military vehicles belonging to the Turkish army were on their way to the Syrian border in Turkey's southeastern Hatay province. Turkey deploys more military vehicles to Syria border on Monday. The supporters of Republican People's Party CHP celebrated after the unofficial results of Istanbul's mayoral candidate rerun in Kadıköy district of Istanbul. Ethiopia held memorial service in the capital Addis Ababa for the Army Chief of Staff and another general who were shot dead on Saturday as part of what the authorities have called a coup attempt in the northern state of Amhara. Army Chief General Siri Mekoni was killed by his bodyguard while trying to foil the coup, the government said. General Gezar Abera, who was with him, was also shot dead. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and President Sahle Work Zawedi were among the mourners. Naomi Campbell says racial diversity in fashion should not be just a trend. Racial diversity in fashion has improved in recent years, but the industry must not treat it like a catwalk trend, British model Naomi Campbell said. One of the fashion's most recognizable faces, Campbell has long spoken of discrimination in the industry where she has worked for 33 years. The 49-year-old Campbell was the first black model to appear on the covers of French Vogue and Time magazine. She was also the first black model on the cover of American Vogue's key September issue. Chinese development projects in Africa must be sustainable, the government's top diplomat told senior African ministers on Tuesday, as he denounced outside forces who seek to verify cooperation by accusing China of creating debt traps. Chinese President Xi Jinping pledged $60 billion to African nations at a China-Africa summit on cooperation in September, matching the size of funds offered at the previous summit in Johannesburg in 2015. Beijing has denied engaging in debt trap diplomacy, and Xi said in September government debt from Chinese interest-free loans due by the end of the year would be written off for the poorest African nations. Chinese State Councillor Wang Ying told foreign and other ministers from some 50 African countries in Beijing his country does not pursue selfish geopolitical gains in Africa and would never impose its will on others. The Somali National University has held its first graduation ceremony in more than 3 decades. The university, based in the capital Mogadishu, was shut down in the early 1990s after the breakout of civil war and unrest. It reopened in 2014. More than 130 graduates were awarded degree certificates during Monday's ceremony. In 2014, only 550 students applied to the university, but in 2018, that number increased to 5,070. Many students have expressed their concerns about security. Thank you so much for being with us. Natural Television News from Ankara in Turkey. I am Sauda Mganga. Thanks for watching.